Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I was going to take out my flute, in the lobby screen before coming on to say hi, but I saw there's a lot of you guys in the chat already, so I wanted to hop on here and say hi while I take out my flute. Um, how are y'all doing? Hey, Ryan. I'm so sorry that you hyperextended the ligament in your thigh. Ouch. Ouchie, ouchie, ouch. Rest a lot. Make sure you give it a good amount of time to heal. But I'm glad you're here and that we can, support you. Let's see. So Jody, you as well. Partially dislocated right hip. Ouch, you guys. Ouch. You've been hobbling around and waiting for it to pop back into place. Oh gosh, that sounds terrible. Oh no. Are we all a little broken today? It's okay. It's okay to be a little broken. You know, I was just thinking earlier that, you know, you never really know what anyone's going through, Like you look at people and you think that they are doing great. They have perfect life, that, everything is fantastic, but everyone is always going through something. Well, that is, at the very least, you have seasons of going through something, right? So I feel it. I hope you both get better soon. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Cranky. How are you? Rogue, hello. How are you? So Rogue is not currently broken. See, that's exactly what I mean. Is that you will have some phases where life just happens, and then you will have other phases that are delightfully boring and nothing is happening. And over the years, I've learned to really treasure those boring times, Sean, hello. How are you? Getting your flute back tomorrow? Yes, you're gonna so enjoy it. I know we had another person yesterday. Was it yesterday? Who said that they got their flute back from COA? Was it Chi Eduardo? Was it you? I think it was you. You mentioned that you had your flute coming back from a COA and it was delightful. Almost on time. You are absolutely on time, Chi Eduardo. How are you doing? Jody, right? Love the boring times. Exactly. The boring times are fleeting. They don't last very long. I feel like the longest that my boring times have ever lasted is like 3 months. And then it's like something's going to break in the house. Something needs repair. You break because, you get sick, or, your partner gets sick, or just anything, life just kind of does its thing, right? Oh, it was Tuesday that you said that you got your flute back from the COA. That's it. I couldn't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, but let's see. You don't know where to look because you're getting the digital music ready on the website. So you're on the flute, Ibert flute concerto. I'm in the third movement, like you can see here in the practice checklist. Which, by the way, for those of you guys who cannot actually see the screen, if you guys are visually challenged or something like that, totally fine. I do have everything listed in the info box below, so you can get your narrator on your phone or whatever on your device you should be able to get your phone to read out the my whole description, and you should be able to know what I'm doing. That's actually why I have been updating the info box with what I'm practicing and stuff like that, because I am aware that we have some blind viewers. So I just want to make this more accessible for you guys. Ryan, I hope that answered your question. Yes, it did. Perfect. Okay. So you ordered the Trevor Wise 6 books in one set, but they ran out. Oh, is it back ordered? Oh, okay. Well, I hope that they get it back in stock really soon. They should. It's very popular, so I wouldn't be surprised. You guys never fail to make me smile. Seriously. I cannot thank you guys enough for just how warm you guys are. And I don't know, I love streaming for you guys. I know I don't have the biggest like viewership, you know, for a streamer. But I don't care. This is nice. So thanks guys for being here. So you bought a tool for loose screws and springs. It's pocket size, so cool. Is it the Fix It tool? Is it this? Because this is freaking fantastic. The Flute Center has was putting this in their swag bags. I don't know if they still do swag bags for like if you do a COA or make a large purchase, but back when they were doing swag bags, they included their Fix It tool. Oh, you got a purple one. Yeah, because I know that they have different colors. So they just happened to put their Fix It tool in, or the Fix It tool that they are selling. They put it into their swag bag. And I agree, man. Freaking love it. It's great. It's not that expensive either. I think it's like $10, something like that. But it has that little pick, as Chia Eduardo was saying, that it can, you know, you can like easily like push springs back where they need to be. Yeah. So I don't know if they do swag bags anymore, but they were doing swag bags for a little while. I know because I have 2 swag bags behind me that I just haven't. I've just been hoarding them, and I haven't actually gone through them and like organized it all and, you know, put stuff away. But yeah. Have a nice boring time. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really want the boring times to come. Life is starting to kind of calm down a little bit. May was like just the refrigerator clicking for the entire month of May, I think drove me more insane than I thought it did. If you've ever had an appliance clicking at random intervals throughout the day, unpredictably, and you don't know how long it's going to click for at random intervals before the compressor starts up. Okay, anyone who has owned a home knows what I'm talking about. Like and I work from home, so I had no respite from it. And I'm only now realizing how insane that probably made me. Just the anxiety that I have felt after it was fixed, because now I have the like comparison of what it's like to be in a quiet, non-clicking home, you know. Right? Stacy, you had the same thing. Ends up part of the packing phone was in the vent. Oh my goodness. For us, it was the starter. So the starter, for some reason, had gone bad. Our technician had actually shared our 25-minute video of the fridge clicking with like 2 of his very, very extremely experienced technicians. He himself is also extremely experienced as well. And all 3 of them were just like, have never seen that type of clicking before. And they all agree that it probably was the starter. So, you know, it's just right now, it's just fingers crossed that it stays that way. Because if there is a problem, the problem probably will not reemerge until a few months. So, Cranky, your air conditioner, there you go. Yeah, See, you guys who own a home, you guys will know what I mean. Like, once you have had an appliance make noises at unpredictable intervals all day, every day for a month, like it can really drive you insane. And I literally only just realized, I think, how much anxiety that has given me that is like very slowly coming off of me now. So, Chi Eduardo, do I work on something other than a professional flutist? Technically speaking, this content creation. So, streams, and I am working on a video right now. It's just a very big project. It's an extremely long video essay. So, I would say that content creation is very unlike kind of your typical professional flutist career. So personally, I would, categorize content creation as a different thing than being a professional flutist. It's just that I happen to make content creation about the flute. So to me, they are very different paths, but I'm doing both. And I guess you could say I do teach privately online. So I'm also a teacher. So like, I guess you could say that that is more along the path of being a professional flutist. But yeah, that, I have a lot of students. So, yeah, I teach Monday to Friday. So yeah. Thank you for that question. Ryan, you finished watching the short where I left the cleaning rod in my flute. I want to make more shorts like that. I should just not be afraid to just make, little shorts of little moments like that, in my streams. I want to just kind of like do it. Yeah, exactly, Chi Eduardo. Yeah, some professional flutists take different routes. Some are teachers, some are soloists, some are in ensembles. Exactly. And something, I know that this is completely unsolicited advice. All right. But for someone who has dipped their toes into pretty much all of those things, I highly recommend dipping your toes into all of the things possible. Any opportunity that you are afforded, dip your toe into it at least once. Because you won't know if you really love it if you don't try it. You'll also won't know if you hate it if you don't try it. And like, I think it's important to learn the skill set that comes with, all of these different paths that you can take. So, for example, I don't know if you guys know this, but a long time ago when I was about, oh lordy, I think I was 23 at the time. I must have been 22 or 23. I was very young. And I was hired by a church to be their chamber music, like the kids church, basically, chamber music director. I was hired to arrange and put on a Christmas show of essentially classical style chamber music. So they paid me too. I'm amazed. As a very jaded pastor's daughter, I'm very amazed when churches actually pay me. I mean, I really shouldn't be, but I am. But anyway, so I did the whole thing. I auditioned all the kids. I arranged them into appropriate chamber groups. I found music for them. I straight up transposed some music, arranged some music for them. I even participated in the ensemble, in the like concert itself, because I had one very advanced student that just did not fit with any of the other groups and would have been bored out of their mind. So I was like, you're doing a duet with me. And I went in, I want to say it was like, it must have been like twice a month for like 4 months, something crazy. I went in and coached all of these students. I even had volunteer parents underneath me that I managed. And they kind of like coached these little groups, but under my watch. And yeah, like I look back and I think back to that and I'm like, I can't believe I did that. I am not that kind of person. I cannot believe I did that. You know, we put on a great show and it was an absolute success. And honestly, the kids liked me, which was like really, really flattering. And the parents liked me, which was also super flattering. And then I was just like, I am never doing that again. I am never doing that again. Because now I know the amount of work that is, you know, behind the scenes of being a chamber music director like that. And it did not give me as much joy and fulfillment as I wanted to. You know? Hey, Henry. Yeah. So, you know, I make it seem like I'm ancient. I'm a little ancient. I mean, you may remember yesterday, I was around in the time that there were hard copy memes. Hard copy memes. They're not internet memes at the time. They were hard copy memes. But you know, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about like the skill set that's involved of like auditioning people, what goes through a panel's mind. It gave me insight as to like how like arranging works, how do you like guide a large group of students who are in varying levels of you know, playing. Like, how do you find something that will make a very nervous tiny child playing a tiny cello? How do you involve them in a group that challenges them, but at the same time does not make them feel like they're being left behind, you know? Like, because, you know, I mean, as a teacher, you do want to challenge your students because that's how they learn, right? But you can't challenge them to the point that they are discouraged, that they feel stupid, that they like, you know what I mean? Like that they feel bad about themselves. It's not that, but you do like finding that balance of challenge versus like, you know, torture is a pretty fine line actually, you know? So, and like learning the language of like how to teach and what, you know, what words to use to encourage, you know, like I think one of my favorite memories from that experience was there was one of these little chamber groups consisted of at least 3 teenage boys. They were like young teens, I want to say, so probably 13, 14-ish, were like that was about the age range there. And I think they were actually part of a slightly larger chamber group, but the 3 of them were really tight. So I was like, got to put them in a chamber group together, and, you know, and it also worked out that their playing level was around the same, because I was like, that's going to be a great memory for them. So, but they were kind of horsing around, because as you do, you know, it's a very normal thing to do when you're like 13, 14. But they were horsing around where they should not have been. And I don't know what possessed me to say this, but I just looked at them straight in the eye and I was like, gentlemen. And they just immediately just, you know, stood at attention, you know, and I was like, I don't even remember what I told them to do. I think I told them to just like leave the room or something, and like, yeah, you can make noise but just not here, you know, that type of thing. And they straight up said, "Yes, ma'am." And I was like, what is this power I wield? You know? And I think it's because, like, the thing is, I saw a lot of potential in them, you know? And so I was like, I want them to know that I see their potential to be true young gentlemen. And so I called them by what I thought they should be, which was not what they were at that moment, but they immediately turned into gentlemen. You know, it's that thing of like, you know, be the person you want to be, not the person you are now, right? But I just kind of applied it to them. Like, I saw potential of who they could be, and then I just called them that. And like, it worked. It was crazy. I was like, what is this? And I never forgot it. I like never forgot that experience. So like, the experience itself of being a chamber music director for a bunch of students was fantastic. It was great. But I still maintain that I will never do it again. I will never do it again. Professional power. I know, right? See, Chiodardo, one of your math teachers tried to challenge you, and then you surpassed his challenges with a 97%. That's how you do it, man. That's how you encourage, you know, students to really push their limits and grow, you know? I'll bet that teacher was really proud of you. At least I hope that teacher was super proud of you, you know? Let me see. So Henry, you composed about 25 minutes of music to go with a Japanese children's book concert / narration. It was a positive experience overall, but it was also really stressful and you never want to do it again. You also participated in the concert. You essentially did the amount of work that I did. That's pretty much exactly it. In fact, you may have done more because you actually did the composition, right? Yeah, you actually wrote 25 minutes of music. So I would say you did more than I did. And you see what I mean? Like, you don't know until you try it. Now, here's the thing, is that you might try something and you're like, holy crap, I need to do this again and again and again and again. And you just cannot get over the high of doing it. That is me with teaching the flute privately. That is me doing reviews of flutes. You know, you just get this high from it. And this is also me doing my practice streams, these practice streams. Like, you know, I tried it and I was like, holy crap, I freaking love this, you know? Yeah. So I can give people 2 out of 3. Yes, it's fast, high quality, or free. You can only choose 2 of those. That is the case actually with most things in life. You know, cycling back to appliances, same thing, you know? you either like, you know, if you're talking repairs, right? You either get like fast and high quality, but very expensive, right? You know, free and fast, but it's low quality, right? Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly it. Exactly. So, you know. Oh, he was amazing, Chiodardo, your teacher. Oh, that's great. Teachers like that are the best. The ones that challenge you, that really like make you, you know, a better version of yourself, you know? Like, and it's very rewarding from the teacher's perspective too, to see someone blossom. I can never get over that high. I cannot get over it. So that's why I keep doing it. I keep teaching. Yeah. Same wavelength. Yep. Exactly, Henry. So like, this is one of kind of like what I'm telling you guys right now is actually something that it's what my parents told me. They're like, just try things, you know, like, and especially try them while you're young. 'Cause if you're young and you like make mistakes, you know, don't handle things quite as elegantly as you can, you have the excuse of being young. People are more forgiving and you can learn more too. From the situation without it heavily affecting your career. So, yeah, I never regretted trying out being a chamber music director. I have such great memories from it, but Lord on high, I'm never doing that again. I'm not doing it again. That's amazing, Eduardo. That's an amazing teacher. It reminds me of my my theory professor, who I actually need to respond to. He checked in on me not too long ago, which I can't believe he still checks in on me. I'm so spoiled. I'm extremely spoiled. But my theory professor in university, who I actually interviewed. So if you guys look through my old videos, all right, we're talking like videos more than 10 years ago, okay? I have one with Dr. Bob, and he's like that. Like, he really worked with me with my my assignments. There was that I made a video of me reacting to the string quartet that I wrote for one of his classes, one of his theory classes. And it's a terrible quartet. It's not a good quartet, guys. It's a horrible quartet, okay? But theoretically, it is 98%. Like, it's solid theoretically, but like as an actual piece, it's horrible. But you know, the reason why it was theoretically 98% sound was because I brought each section to him, and he really coached me, kind of like Eduardo's teacher here. And like, those moments stay with you, man. They stay with you. Like, that is absolutely a core memory for me. Like a teacher who cares to that level, it stays with you, man. It makes you believe in yourself, and it makes you like believe that you can accomplish things that, you know, are challenging to you, but that you can overcome it, you know? Yeah, the cringy string quartet video. And you remember Dr. Bob, Henry. Yes. Dr. Bob, freaking Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob is amazing. He was the one who really drilled it into our heads, like, if you don't understand something, it's my fault. He actually said this to us in first year, and I took that to heart, and I have adopted that for myself as a teacher. So like, what I find kind of like weird about private lesson tradition is that there is this tendency to just take what your teacher says and not question it. And I notice a few of my students doing it. And so I will prod them and be like, hey, do you actually understand? And if I can tell that they don't fully understand, but they say they do, I will try and explain it again in a different, you know, perspective. And it's really because I have adopted this notion that, like, if they don't understand, it's me, right? Like, my job as a teacher is to explain things and to like make concepts clear to students. And if I'm not making concepts clear to students, I'm not doing my job. And that is directly from Dr. Bob. He said this to us again. It's just another core memory. He said this to us very bluntly, first day of Theory 101. Not even 101, Theory 100. It's Music Theory 100. First year, first semester music theory course. That was the first thing he said to us. And yeah, absolute core memory. And I've adopted that. Yeah. Oh yeah, whoever enjoys being a band teacher for like really young people, they seriously are the teacher with the most discipline. They really are. They truly are. Yeah. You're right, Henry. So we used the straight head for his project, for like the alto flute, and I look like an actual child playing it because I'm so short. Yeah, and then we found out soon after that there was a curved head joint we could have used. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. I like that you remember that. Oh, it's so funny. It was just one of those things that we both decided to chalk up to, like, okay, this is just funny, you know, like whatever. You just let it go. um, yeah. All right, guys. I do see the time, so I need to get started. I am going to rinse out my mouth, get us started on our 1 hour, and then we can chat a little bit again while I clean up. Sound good with you guys? I enjoyed that. That was a really nice chat. But yes, it's time to get some work done. So, I have noticed that my focus has gotten a little better since yesterday and the day before. Not grand, not as focused as I want to be, but not as bad as it has been, because I've just been so scatterbrained. Isn't really the word. It's more just like there's just this like almost paralysis before doing something. Definitely felt it each time before coming on stream. I had to sort of like get over my paralysis. I do think that it's just the anxiety rolling off of me from the month of May. Just dealing with a lot of like, you know, troubling memories from 3 years ago around this time. It's just not, and also around this time last year was not a great time. I believe today, if somewhere around here is, I think it was between the 10th to the 13th, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, it might be to the day today, if not yesterday, was 1 year since my grandmother passed. So like, it's just not a grand time of year for me. And so I get very unfocused, and I kind of get paralyzed before I experience this weird mental paralysis before I like do something. So I'm working through it. It's getting better. And the timer is helping. So speaking of the timer, let's get that timer going. Stacy, yeah, right? Unfocused. So yeah, the timer is coming in clutch right now to like keep me focused. It's really great. But there we go. Earplug is in. So let's get the timer going. We'll do the same thing as we have been, 5 minutes on harmonics, and then we'll kind of see how things go with the rest of our checklist. There we go. Let's go. A little bit of phlegm. Okay. It's kind of getting in the way. Are you talking about the phlegm? I am but a human. The phlegm thing definitely happens to me. It is allergy season right now. So I absolutely have extra phlegm. And when you move air like this, it tends to kind of dislodge a lot of the phlegm. So that is what we're dealing with today. All right. I just realized I need to increase my support. So I just kind of like made sure, tuck my butt in, make sure I have no pelvic tilt. That'll allow me to engage my core much more effectively. And I'm doing just the very slightest, you guys probably don't even notice me doing. I'm doing just the very slightest bend at the knees. And that also helps you just kind of engage your core naturally. Tuck the butt in, bend the knees a tiny bit, and you'll feel that your core naturally wants to engage. So that's what I realized I need to do. Okay, that high note needs to sit a little bit further back than I think it that I want it to. Your ears. I know. I'm sorry. Enjoy your rehearsal, Stacy. Thank you so much for dropping by. About the pelvic tilt. So I only discovered like 2 years ago. I want to say it was I think it was 2 years ago. That my pelvic tilt, because I had an anterior pelvic tilt, it was actually preventing me from accessing my lower core muscles that's like in front of my pelvis. Those lower core muscles are actually the core muscles that you should be using for like belly breathing in yoga. Actually just straight up good breathing in general, like for good stamina. Because like that shallow breathing is really bad for stamina, you know? So like if you are like, what I've since learned is that this type of breathing is very low seated breathing, is pretty much good for anything that involves breathing. So swimming, yoga, the flute, any wind and brass instrument, singing, et cetera, et cetera. And I personally realized from doing an exercise, I realized that the only way that I could actually access those muscles is if I tucked my butt in to correct my pelvic tilt. And so after that, what I did was I spent a few months just straight up correcting my pelvic tilt on the normal, like on my day-to-day. I recently as last month, learned that having flat feet can encourage a pelvic tilt because your ankles collapse inward, and then it makes your knees kind of go at a weird angle, which it encourages your pelvis to sort of tilt forward to kind of compensate for it. So I have actually recently purchased like arch fit indoor slippers for me to wear on the regular at home. Again, it's to encourage me to keep my pelvic tilt corrected. But yeah, I will say that I still think I should engage my core more than I currently am. So that's what I was noticing while doing these harmonics. But yeah, what are you asking if harmonics are useful, or did you miss a word in your question? I just want to double check. Excuse me. I want to double check what you are asking before I assume what you are asking. I'm just going to continue into the next exercise while you clarify your question, Eduardo. But okay, so now let's keep going. We're going to do De La Sonorite page 23, and we're doing fullness of tone exercises, which is really just, we're just doing very gradual dynamic changes. And what we are focusing on is like how subtly the lips move, and also trying to make sure I'm not pinching my lips while doing this. Stay nice and relaxed, etc. Relaxed, but also core engaged. Okay, so let's try this. This time we are doing, it's essentially a D flat augmented triad. We're going to start in the middle register, and then we'll do the low register, and then we'll do the high register. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think I need to focus a little bit more on the size of the airstream on the inside of the mouth as well. I think that will help my lips not feel like they have to pinch. Okay, that was better. I think what it is that it's a combination of making the shape inside of the airstream inside the mouth simultaneously going from really tiny, like a really tiny airstream, as if I like stuck a coffee stirring straw into my mouth and I'm blowing through that. So it's a combination of making that straw inside of my mouth bigger while slowly like making it a little like flatter and wider as well. So it's sort of growing from a small circle to like, it's kind of growing like this. So tiny circle and then growing. That seems to be doing the trick. So it's a combo of dynamics and tone color actually to make this work. All right, we're going to go down into the low notes. Okay, I think I have to be careful not to increase the airspeed too much Like I need to make it big, but not increase the airspeed too much. Otherwise it will crack high. Hello, Victor. How are you doing? Also, Michael, your dinner sounds amazing. Better. Oh, that's pretty difficult. I'll do that one more time. Okay, it's better than yesterday, so I'm gonna take it. So we're going in the right direction, but still not as pristine as I would like it to be. I'm gonna finish off this exercise and then I will answer your question, Chi Eduardo. Okay. Ooh. Okay, that was more successful than I thought it would be. Definitely needs a little bit more work. I think the straw imagery inside of my mouth definitely helps, but there's still a little bit of pinching. You've been working on your flute embouchure forever with your teacher. It's so frustrating. I feel it. I feel it. I understand. Truly, I do. And I think something to keep in mind is you want something that, like, you want a embouchure that allows you flexibility, is fairly close to your like neutral face, but you have the flexibility of using your lower lip to kind of move in and out. And also your top lip is essentially just kind of holding a firm, reliable shape. You know, it's not tight, it's just kind of holding a shape, you know. And that, like, those seem to be the common denominators, at least for a good embouchure. But everyone's embouchure looks a little bit different. At the end of the day, you don't want a lot of tension. You want to be loose enough that you have this flexibility, but firm enough that you stay focused. So it's this kind of really fine line. So Chi Eduardo, you were asking what harmonics are useful for. So personally, I find that harmonics are very useful for mapping out a flute. And what I mean by that is that if you pay attention to where the air inside of your mouth is like kind of concentrated and spinning, you can actually kind of feel that like whatever note you're playing, if the note is ringing on the flute really well, you can kind of feel that your air is sort of concentrated. Your moving air is actually concentrated in a single spot in your mouth. And generally speaking, flutes, the lower they play, that spinning spot will be concentrated more lower and forward in the mouth. And the higher you go, generally speaking, the further back and higher in your mouth it goes. But that range of movement between your lowest note and your highest note is different per flute. It's just in general, low notes tend to ride lower and more forward. Higher notes tend to ride higher and back. So you probably have seen me review flutes and immediately go into harmonics, and that is because I am using that to map out that flute. So I'll find where the lowest note spins in the mouth, and then I'll find like kind of like each harmonic up where it spins in the mouth. And then I have a pretty good guesstimation of how that flute plays. So when I play the normal notes in the same fashion along those same points, the flute is nice and resonant. So that's what I use it for. Need some whiteboard magic. Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't prepare the whiteboard this time. It's a black screen. Like, this is what it looks like right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, so like when you see me use my whiteboard and I'm like drawing the parts where the air is spinning, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So so you can basically get comfortable with any flute. That's exactly it. Yep. That's exactly it. And so if you can get to know your own flute, you're going to be a lot more comfortable, right? So that's why that's what I find harmonics very useful for. It's a mapping kind of diagnostic tool. So it's pretty cool. Okay, I think that's enough of that. So let's continue with circular breathing, just a little bit of it. I think I'm only going to limit myself to like maybe a minute of this. I really don't want to spend that long on this. So here we go. Hey, Chris, how are you? Okay. someone made a good point. I think it might have been Jasmine Choi who said that generally speaking, doing circular breathing on higher notes is easier, and I definitely can feel that while doing a scale. It's a lot easier to do it on high notes. I'm leaving it. I had it like a few good ones, and then I can feel it kind of not really working anymore, so I don't really want to push it. Okay. Wonderful. Let's do 27. In Moyse 480 exercises. Okay. Coolio. This one's not too long. Got off of the beat. All right. Definitely feeling a little bit of tightness in the embouchure. Kind of a sudden onset. I feel like the harmonics were really great. Took a good long while before you realized she was circular breathing. I know, right? Okay. I think I need to do a slightly more extreme rock stroke grip because I think it was actually turned out too far. So that's fun. All right. We will move on to the Ibert. We'll see how the drilling goes. I think my experience this week is telling me that this takes a long time. So we shall see. Does she have 7 lungs? Yeah. She's really good at not dropping the support. She says that she does, but like she's really good at not dropping that support. Like even when she's pushing it out while inhaling. I still have trouble like I can only do it, I want to say 30% of the time right now, where I get a full inhale as I am like pushing out the rest that's in my throat. Yeah. So Jackie, you think it's sounding better? Oh, I'm glad. Okay, cool. Should you practice studies without previously hearing them, or hearing how they sound first? You feel studies are good for working for interpretation? It depends on the person. It depends on the person. So, if you are like me and you're a very visual person, if you listen to a brand new piece of music without ever having seen the notes, at least for me, I tend to ascribe the wrong duration to notes purely through hearing. And I also ascribe the wrong interval jumps too. So what happens to me is that it confuses me when I see it written afterwards, because I heard it one way, but my brain interpreted it all wrong. And then when I see it written, I'm like, what? And it's gotten better with training over the years, for sure, with like sight singing and ear training. It has really gotten a lot better. But that's my natural state. So if you're like that, I highly recommend that you just read it first, because you're probably the type of person who can just look at a piece of music and mathematically everything checks out. And you can just play it, albeit maybe slightly metronomically, but you're playing it accurately. Now, if you're the type of person where you look at a piece of music and it just does not translate mathematically to you naturally, then I think it's a great idea for you to listen to the music before, so that essentially listening to the music can help you essentially identify, how long some notes are, how the rhythm actually sounds and feels, etc. And then what you can do in the future is you can listen to 2 or 3 different recordings of the same piece, hear a bunch of different interpretations, and you can start with mixing and matching different interpretations from those 3 recordings that you like. And what that will do, if you do that often enough, it will inform you as to like what is traditional, what is what's a little push and pull that you can do. And it will also inform you on your preferences too. So you do that enough, and that will help. So I like to leave the whole interpretation thing for like after you've learned the notes. So those are my thoughts on that. It's a great question. Okay, we're going to go backwards now in the Ibert third movement. So because I can see that we ended at the very end yesterday. So we're just going to play and then evaluate and just see what happens. Okay, definitely getting better at not overblowing, but there's one spot where I do need to make sure that it's resonating in the correct spot. So I'll just do that one spot. Yeah, that was it. So just have to make sure that I'm actually moving it to the correct spot. Okay, I'm okay with that. Let's keep going backwards. Yes. So the nice thing about not overblowing is that it keeps you way less frantic, and you have more oxygen in your brain to be thinking about, like, oh, I don't have to actually rush through this part, and I can play it musically. And it's just a fantastic positive domino effect. I was very okay with that. See you next time, Ryan. Will I enjoy Flag Day soon? I'm going to be completely real with you. I treat Independence Day as really just a day off. I'm not the most patriotic. I mean, cool, but you know, it's a grand day off, you know? Yeah. Hello, Bill. How are you? Hey, Susie. How are you? Ah, yes, subdividing is very good, Chi Eduardo. Yes, very good. Okay, we are going one section above. We're also going to continue not overblowing, and then which will keep us calm and relaxed and just moseying through all of these notes. Okay, I was still overblowing in that one spot, and then I absolutely botched it. So we're going to do that spot. Okay, so something kind of weird is that for my flute, I need to keep the front part of my lip here. I need to keep it really loose at that spot because the G sharp wants to resonate a little bit more forward than I think it needs to. And if I keep my top lip really rigid and smashed against my teeth, that high G sharp is not going to have any room to resonate. So I think that's what's going on there, but we'll back it up and do this again. All right, cool. better, but I feel like I'm adding a note somewhere. I'm not sure. I think it's okay. I think. Let's move. We'll let that kind of, you know, simmer in my brain. We'll move on. Yes, what we talked about yesterday absolutely worked. Conserving energy, making sure I'm not overblowing, which is really helping me stay on track to not rush, and then everything is nice and clean. We just need to get used to that feeling. Okay, back it up. Hello, Brenda. Welcome back. How are you? Are we of the same mind, Chi Eduardo? Fantastic. Okay, there's that run I want to do again, just again for that like clarity. I need to just not rush it and I'll be fine. Latte. Okay, we keep going. Pretty good. Yeah, I think the like not overblowing, definitely I can feel that it's preserving my stamina, which is really good. Okay, I can feel that the suppleness, the fullness of tone exercises I mentioned yesterday that I feel like it's going to really help this section, and it absolutely is. So I'm very excited actually for next week to come back to this, because I think definitely with more of this like fullness of tone exercises, it's going to make it so much better. Like it's already making it so much better, and I can tell that it's keeping my embouchure nice and loose too, which is so nice. Okay, one more time just at the beginning of this section. Yeah. Weirdly, it's the fullness of tone exercises making that sound really good. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, next big section. I need to make sure that this one I actually need a little page turn. So just gonna. Good. Okay. We good. Period. Hello. Welcome back. Heading into your sophomore year. She decided to put you on Prokofiev Sonata. I love the Prokofiev though. It's really cool. The piano part is like on par with the flute part. It's actually a duo. It's not like flute and accompaniment, you know? Like it's actually a flute and piano duo. That is really cool. It's really awesome. It's heavy. Oh, it's heavy. Do you know the cheat fingering for the high D, for the rips to the high D? If you don't know, go to wfg.woodwind.org, I think, /flute. Do you know it? You don't know it. I am going to save you. Hopefully your teacher is into this, okay? But if I had known, if I had known about this, holy cow, my life would have been so much, like, just, oh my goodness, so much easier. And you can really like rip it, you know, when you use this fingering. So I'm just going to straight up copy out this lovely gentleman's flute fingering website, which is my favorite. So we are looking at fourth octave D. So you will see at D7 here. There you go. Look at D7 and you will see that he highlights one, or that one of the versions for high D7 is good response, useful in the first movement of the Prokofiev Sonata. All right. Let me tell you, that fingering is so much easier to rip up to from those notes in the Prokofiev. You're so welcome. So have fun with that. I wish I knew this. I used the real fingering for it and it was not actually that reliable. So this one I find is a lot more reliable. Yeah. So have fun with that. Okay. Susie, you're getting off the COVID train. Okay. I hope you feel better very soon. We also know someone, who just got COVID and they are having not a great time. So I hope that you're like on the mend. I hear that this particular strain is not great. So yeah. Oh. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I really am not keeping that spot open where that A flat needs to be today. It is a bit of a struggle bus today. Arya, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Chi Eduardo, you're asking if it's further to go beyond F7 on the flute. You can see that in the I think it goes higher than F, doesn't it? Yeah, you can see there is a fingering chart for it. I have a friend who can make it up to the G7. Yeah. I personally haven't tried yet. Okay. Couple of spots that I want to go over again. So here we go. All right. I need to be strategic about where I am slow and where I'm fast. That's the takeaway from that. Okay, we're going to do the next big section above. Yeah, I'm way less tired than I was yesterday. So this is good. Like, I'm not expending as much energy doing this. Okay, not bad. I legitimately did not take a large enough breath though, so that's why I had to sneak in a little bit more. So I'm going to do that section again. Okay, there's still some runaway happy trigger fingers in there, but most of that pretty good. I will let that go and we'll come back to it on Tuesday. We're going to do another very large section, or fairly large section. accidentally played an A flat instead. It's that one part. Okay. Okay, there we go. The differences between the exposition and the recap is definitely like kind of clearing out now. So we're going to carry this into next week. This is good. Yeah, trigger fingers are not quite so crazy. Okay, last section, and then we do some Genshin Impact. There we go. Nice and relaxed. Okay, more relaxed. Don't go gung-ho into it. Just kind of relax into it and we good. Okay, yeah, definitely I'm feeling not as like tense and like as energy expended as yesterday. The other thing I'm noticing as well is I no longer have that tightness in here, so I think my posture is also a lot better. We good? We doing this? Okay, rapid as wildfires, just for a little bit of fun. And then I'm actually thinking after I do a few minutes of rapid as wildfires, I kind of want to look into some Fontaine music, just because I miss it, so I kind of want to do it. Some thoughts here is that the fullness of tone exercise works here too. I think what I'm realizing is that in the spots that I'm trying to push a lot of air to make it louder, what I should actually be doing is just making that straw inside of my mouth, that, you know, metaphorical straw inside of my mouth, making that bigger instead of just forcing more air through. I could feel that what I just did could have been better. So I'm just kind of curious about that. I do see that the timer is up. Ooh. What if you feel tension in your foot? I mean, that might not be a flute thing. Alden, hello. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. I can feel that the fullness of tone thing is definitely going to work here. Like I can feel that I do have the ability to manipulate that in my mouth so that I don't have to push a lot of air. I'm just manipulating the inside of my mouth to be like bigger, wider, or like thinner. So I think that manipulation is going to come with more of this fullness of tone exercise from the Moyse de la Sonorite. So yeah, I can feel it. Like, I think that's how people stay so relaxed while playing for an absolutely crazy amount of time. So this is going to be very useful because come October, I will be playing for a friend for a very long time, I think. So I think this will help me stay relaxed. Okay. I do want to, just because I have a little bit of time. Also, I'm just going to really quickly check on the hubs, see how he's doing. Just because he's coming home soon. So I just want to make sure that he's not asking me for anything. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's not asking me for anything. So excellent. I want to find that Fontaine flute business. Oops. Is it this one? Yes. I've been wanting to play this one. Oops. Okay. Here we go. Let me grab some water. Alden, don't worry. You never need to apologize for like tuning in at the end of each stream. It's just nice to have you in the chat. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. You're so sweet. All of you are so sweet. Yeah, we all have lives, okay? I get it. Don't worry, man. Like, if there's anyone who understands that life is just life, it's me. We're just happy you're here. Okay, I do want to play a little bit of this, and then I think I should clean up. So, here we go. Let's swab this out. All right. Okay, cool. There we go. Okay. Let's try this. Oh. definitely could do with practicing that. There are a few spots that are like delightfully challenging, actually. Man, I I'm realizing how much the fullness of tone exercise is really good for this type of stuff. Like really just to get that like clarity and that very subtle like dynamic and tone color shifts. Oh yeah, all of that is just manipulating like the inside of the mouth to like get those like very subtle. Well, I think those like subtle changes. I think what I want to do as well is just like really ping the E's, like the start of the E's. I mean, this is Fontaine music, which is essentially this is steampunk France in Genshin. I'm realizing I need to use French style tonguing on the first note, so I need to go, and then that it gives it that ping that I'm looking for. Yeah, I need to do French tonguing. That so it's not flute beatboxing. It's just that you're starting your tongue out from at least between your teeth. Okay, so a trick there is I need to get my air exhaling through my nose before I actually start the note. Because if you want it to ping, like have that really clean ping at the beginning of the note, the air has to already be moving out of you when you do the tongue. So a great trick is to actually exhale through your nose before you actually start playing. And while you're exhaling, you start tonguing. So, and that's how you get that really nice clean cut with that ping from the tonguing. Yeah, you guys hear that? You hear how like when I start the note, it has this like really nice kind of like shimmery sort of ping. So that it's a combination of a lot of things. You have to actually have the air already exhaling out of you. The air has to already be moving out of you when you do the French style tonguing and get the air actually going, especially for a note as resistant as a high E. So I love this melody. If you guys are here in the like lobby or at the very end, you will hear this melody playing. So I was reviewing my own footage, my own stream yesterday, just to see if it looked okay. By the way, I realized I forgot to switch over to this microphone at the end yesterday, so I apologize for that. I ended up listening to it and I'm like, oh, I really want to play it on the flute. And it just so happens that this works so well with the fullness of tone exercise. So, you know, it was really fun to do that. Yeah. Can I flute beatbox? Kind of. I mean, I know that, you know, you do that. You kind of sort of do as like I know to do that, but like when I actually do it on the flute, it literally just sounds like I'm saying boots and cats. So I don't know. It doesn't really count, man. It really doesn't really count. Yeah, she can. I just haven't really done a whole lot of it myself, as you can tell. Um, so, you know, I've done other things, which are, you know, weird. But yeah. Okay. I feel great to end there. Yeah. I think the fullness of tone exercise is actually one of the big things that I've been looking for in my own playing, just to have that control, and that like I think the weirdest side effect of the fullness of tone exercise is the fact that it trains you to stay relaxed. So your embouchure has to be very relaxed while doing it. And that's exactly what I've been wanting. It's making all of my music sound much more relaxed. I have a lot more kind of like, it's not sort of like up to the gods anymore in terms of like up to the flute gods, of whether like I can control the tone to have like a really nice tone. So it feels good. It feels really good. Yeah. I saw the thumbnail for that video from Team Recorder. Looks so cute. I haven't had time to watch it, but I did see the thumbnail. Super cute. Some random guy on YouTube has done badinery on beatbox style. That's so cool. Beatboxing takes a ton of air. And Greg Patillo did explain it to me and my studio colleagues, because he came to our school and did a masterclass and like a little workshop and stuff. It was super awesome. And he explained to us that because usually when you beatbox, you're beatboxing straight into a microphone. And because of that, you can actually be a lot more subtle and you don't have to like go as hard. And thus your breath will last longer because you're doing it straight into a microphone. Whereas on a flute, you're not doing it straight into a microphone. So you have to over exaggerate the beatboxing like crazy. So from my understanding of beatboxing, it takes a ton of air. And I just noticed that it's probably a lot easier to beatbox on the flute if you know how to circular breathe. I just noticed myself doing sort of like a half circular breath while doing it. And I was like, oh, that would make it a lot easier if I just knew how to circular breathe. Yeah. You met him too, Jackie? He's so great. Yeah, like after his visit, the entire band like the 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 university band, they just kept making every flutist in the flute section beatbox on the flute during band rehearsal break. It was the funniest thing. Um, you know, like, so there was just the whole bunch of us just constantly beatboxing for a while because it was just kind of the big hip cool thing at the time. It was super new. Although Greg had already gone viral. I think he covered the Mario Brothers theme, but with beatbox, and that's what really made him take off because it was just so unique at the time, especially. And yeah, so he'd already had gone viral. So he was kind of like a viral sensation coming to visit us, which was awesome. But yeah. You met him in high school. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I met him when I was in university. I don't know if he remembers me at all. And I do have a photo with him. And I look like such a baby. Like, I look like actual, like baby Joanna. I look so naive and green and innocent. And it was a great time. He was so nice. And I felt like us fluties had a great bonding moment during that because it was just so wacky, like at the time it was just so wacky to do beatboxing on the flute. And that type of music, especially for me at the time, was not really my scene. Just to put it into context, I was a fairly sheltered pastor's daughter. So not because my parents like tried to shelter me. It's more that I just, quite frankly, just did not have a lot of exposure or even interest in a lot of kind of like pop music and other kinds of music besides legitimately classical music, movie soundtracks, and Southern gospel. So like that was really all that I listened to, around then. And yeah, I literally had just no interest in anything else. So like the whole beatboxing thing to me was like, it was cool, but I really fell out of my element, but it was funny. Like it was a very funny experience, like a funny bonding experience with all the fluties and with the band, everyone's just like egging us on to beatbox, and it was so great. You're curious what this piece would sound like with the beat without the beatboxing. Do you mean like the Mario theme, or because the Mario theme is usually covered without the beatboxing? Yeah. You got his autograph, Jackie. That's great. Beatboxing music on the flute is hilarious. It is hilarious. It is. It's funny. It's like, especially when it was so fresh and novel, I just remember it being so weird. Like, I remember it being like, oh my God, is this actually becoming an extended technique on the flute? And it has become an extended technique on the flute that like, you're just kind of like, if you're a professional, you're sort of expected to know how to do it. So I've done other strange things though. I've definitely done some yelling and screaming into the flute. I've done the like tritone multiphonics, which is very difficult to do. I've done just a lot of kind of like very percussive tongue things, like that type of thing into the flute. Very fun, very like percussive. It's a great effect when you do it with another flutist too. Yeah. And it's so like you could say I've done beatbox like effects into the flute. So works on low brass. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I would love to hear that. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Do flutes just have these random extended techniques? Yes. Yes, we do. So flutter tonguing, I think, is considered an extended technique, but it's an extended technique that a lot of flutists are just expected to learn, especially if you go down the path of becoming a professional. Singing while playing, whistle tones, multiphonics are just, actually, they're just fingerings you need to learn. The percussive stuff, tongue slaps. I'm so bad at tongue slaps. I'm very, very bad at tongue slaps. So if I ever do tongue slaps, I have to probably actually legitimately learn it. Yeah. So, Flight of the Bumblebee, weirdly enough, I don't think really has extended technique, right? Because you can add flutter tonguing, you can add, anything you want to it. But I think the standard Flight of the Bumblebee is actually completely standard technique. Pizzicato. Yeah, pizzicato. So I've done like cha-cha. I've done there we go. That's it. So it's when you take your tongue kind of like, and you like squash the tip of it behind your teeth up against where the gum is. And then you do kind of like a very, very explosive, like you force the air through it. And so it kind of creates this explosive. It's very strange. So it's not like you're going, it's not that. You're actually using air to like explode it through. Yeah. Flutter tonguing. Yep. Which, if you guys can believe it, that is not me trilling my R. I'm not rolling my R's there. I cannot. I am one of those people who like, I did not learn how to roll my R's when I was little. And so my tongue just can't really do it right now. Yeah. So all fun stuff. I really love, the extended techniques and stuff like that. I kind of learn it via a need to know basis, personally. So I know that some people just like would never touch it, but I'm not that person. Like if you gave it to me, I would give it a good, like, if you paid me to play something with extended technique, I would give it a good try, just because it sounds cool. Like I think it's really, as Giadardo says, interesting. So if you want to learn it, there is Robert Dick's The Other Flute, and then my friend Alessandro Battici has a book called Hyperflute, where he talks about all these extended techniques in a very, very like approachable manner. And he has little like built-in embedded MP3s of him, demonstrating it. So there are definitely a lot of extended technique in there that I actually can't do, just because I haven't been called upon to actually do them, to perform them. So yeah. So The Other Flute by Robert Dick, Hyperflute by Alessandro Battici. Those are two really good books. There's definitely more out there, but those are the two that immediately come to mind for me. So if you wanted to take a look, be my guest. Have fun. Okay. I better head off for the evening. I love y'all so very much. Thank you so much for joining me and keeping me company. Your presence truly helps me feel better. I am mentally going through a bit of a rough time right now, just because it's the anniversary of a lot of very hard moments in my life. So yeah, I just want to say that like even the lurkers here. All right. Your presence is very much appreciated. And I still feel like I'm learning something. I still feel like I'm moving forward. And that is the absolute best feeling, without feeling like I'm burning myself out and without feeling like I'm running myself ragged. So, like, seriously, you guys have been so nice and so comforting and understanding. I could not ask for a better group of viewers. So thank you. I love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. I will see you guys on Tuesday. I believe that will be an 11 a.m. Pacific stream. So I'm kind of sticking with a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice schedule, because that keeps my Mondays and my Fridays free. And that seems to be working a little bit better for my mental health right now. So maybe in the future, I might return back to 4 or 5 times of practicing a week. But right now, I can really feel that the 3 times a week is doing really great wonders for my mental health, because I need that space. So thank you all so much for understanding. I love you all. Please take care of yourselves. Stay happy, healthy, and safe to the best of your ability, because there is no music without the musician. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have an amazing weekend, everyone. All right. Laters. Bye-bye.